Hello friends, day 43, bar is closed. So I don't think I have anything really novel to share today, but one thing I was thinking when I was driving in today to work was 43 days without a cigarette. So for all you smokers out there, I was a smoker for 20-something years and was a strong advocate for my freedom to smoke cigarettes. And I know how tough it is to quit. And so 43 days without a cigarette, not one, not even a half of one, not even like, can I have a drag off of yours? So that's a big deal for me. I think it should be a big deal for any cigarette smoker if you decide to take on the same challenge. 43 days without a cigarette. I'm glad to not be addicted to cigarettes today. Separate from the booze. And I don't crave a cigarette anymore right now. Like I don't crave the smell like a cigarette. I don't crave the flavor in my mouth. I don't crave the standing somewhere where nobody else is to have a cigarette, to then smell like a cigarette, to then justify and validate my cigarette smoking to non-cigarette smokers. All of the things that the cigarette smoke was about, I just not down. I'm not into it right now. It's just not a part of my story anymore. So I'm happy to be done with that. You know what I mean? Like, put one down. That's, just start with one. And the cigarettes are that. If I was drinking right now and not smoking cigarettes, I would be proud of myself for still not smoking cigarettes. So that's one thing. Another thing I was thinking was that for a long time, I honestly felt like alcohol was one of the things that helped me keep it all together. That life had thrown so much at me, and that I was balancing it the best I can. I was juggling all that I had to work with what I had to work with, for whom I was working for. And there was really not much more I could ever handle. I mean, if you threw it at me, I would do my best. But that alcohol was kind of I don't want to call it a crutch. I don't know what to call it, a cane. It was like another ball that was like a training ball inside of the other balls I was juggling, that if I couldn't drink, then I might drop all the other balls. And so I had to keep catching that training ball to keep me on rhythm. The alcohol kept me on rhythm. It gave me that time window whereby I knew enough about myself in that boozy state that I couldn't get lost or mess up or get distracted or get disturbed or get upset and leave it all, right? So it kept me somewhat attuned and numb and in performance. Now, we've also talked about this before, though. Did it really? I mentally thought it did. And if I stopped drinking, I would fail. I don't know how many other people feel that way, but I did. And in fact, as I'm learning, that it actually, without doing it more selectively, maybe more ritualistically, as one would say, it made things harder. And I think that there's so many situations where we've been able to recognize that in our lives, where we think we're doing something to make it easier on ourselves, and in fact, it's making it harder on us. Yeah, that we are taking a poison pill in order to stay alive. And we've convinced ourselves that it makes life easier, and that the side effects of that poison pill is what's keeping us alive. And that's kind of how booze has been sold. I'll also leave it on this note. I was watching a tequila commercial the other day on Hulu. Literally the whole campaign was, when it's time to show up, right? When it's time to really show up for your people, when it's time to show up for what needs to be shown up for, tequila is your ally. And it's so funny because I feel like that commercial was meant for me for 20 years, and now I watch it and I think to myself, who are they programming? This is not about getting away or an escape or an altered state, a need for a break from the norm. This is like, use this as a vehicle for high performance. And so now today's podcast is really a reaffirmation for that. I believed alcohol for many years made me a higher performer. Day 44 of sobriety. Bar is still fucking closed.